More life, more living, more to get.
Hello, RJ.
Hey, how's it going? How's it going?
Good. I'm so excited to finally get a chance to talk with you, introduce you to the world, the city. So where are you coming in from tonight?
I come from Etobicoke, so Lakeshore, Kiffin area.
Dope. And is that where you grew up?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Pretty much my whole life. Mimico, Lakeshore, Kiffin, those areas.
Wow.
Yeah, West End guy.
That's dope. So, and where'd you go to high school?
Started off at Lakeshore Collegiate, and then because I was playing ball at the time, there was a lot going on at the school, so they didn't have a team, so I transferred to Silverthorne for the last couple of years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's dope. So more like south end of Etobicoke.
Yeah, so the school I transferred to, so Lakeshore,
Town.
Yeah, no, Silverthorne.
Oh, Silverthorne.
It's a little bit west, going a little bit more towards Saga.
Where is that? Yeah.
It's not a lot of people know about that area. It's like close to the East Mall. And just west of the East Mall.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah, they had like a program there for like athletics and stuff. So like around that time, that was the time I think a lot of stuff was going. They were cutting a lot of programs back and stuff like that. So and then like different areas weren't as like areas that weren't as good doing as well or whatever like that. They didn't even have teams and stuff like that. So every one of the schools that actually had teams were still competing and stuff. So.
Do you still play ball?
Every now and then I coach.
Nice.
Every now and then, but I only get the chance to go play every now and then. So.
That's lit. So how did you get into coaching?
Coaching actually, a close family member of mine has asked me if he needs some help, and he had an opportunity, some help. I offered to help, and I was doing that. That's kind of started.
So how long have you been doing coaching?
Well, I was coaching like when I was going to school, like university, whatever. I help out stuff, and then of recent, I've only been doing it for like last 2 years.
Wow.
So like it's pretty dope.
That's dope.
It's a lot of work, but it's really tough.
It's a lot of work, right?
Yeah.
So how do you juggle that and building your brand and your artistry and developing your craft?
It's tough because the coaching opportunity came kind of out of nowhere, and I was was gonna go in and help out for a little bit, but then the kids were great. Working with my family member that asked me to help was dope, and then the organization was cool, and then we were doing well. So, and then as far as juggling with the music, it's hard. You really gotta treat it like a job. Like so, you kind of gotta work on each one even when you don't want to. So the music, like you gotta actually set aside time to write and focus and put ideas together.
Yeah.
And I know it's kind of old school, but you really gotta write stuff down. Like okay, so like this day I'm gonna do this, and at this time I'm gonna do this. And any chance you get, you gotta put that energy towards it. Because if you don't, like one's gonna suffer.
So where did you get like your inspiration, and who did you listen to growing up? Like, you know what I mean? What artists, if you can give me like top 3, shaped who RJ is?
Wow.
Or whatever.
That's a really deep question, because like growing up, it was like my background, Nova Scotian, so like aunts and uncles, father, mother, like grandmas, all this stuff. It's all like a lot of it was 80s soul music and 70s stuff. Like so, a lot of James Brown, Isaac Hayes, like Rick James.
Yes.
So I was really influenced by a lot of that stuff, and then towards late 80s to like 90s when I was a kid, like going through like different neighborhoods and whatever, it was like the Bobby Browns, the New Editions, Whitney Houston. It was that stuff a lot. That just not even really knowing music like that, but that was just a big what kind of created, like, I guess, your palette, whatever. What I kind of was comfortable with, and then so it's a long kind of question. It's not just one artist. It's just like a group of things that kind of made me into music. And then once hip hop started growing, I guess one of the early artists I really kind of liked was like Public Enemy. I guess I'm showing where I'm at, my era a little bit. But because they were really about like urban, with the urban black experience was going through. So a lot of that, and they were really confident, but it wasn't a lot of materialistic stuff. It was a lot of like self-confident stuff and just about the community, things of that nature. And then as it grew, even as it kept growing, it was like Rakim and Big Daddy Kane, and then further than that, it was like then the Biggies came around, Tupac's, the Jay-Z's and stuff. Then I was like, as I'm coming in my own, those are the kind of guys that I kind of relate to a lot, and they had a lot of style. They were charismatic, like those, and clothing stuff like how they dress and how they carry themselves.
That's dope. That's so dope. So like a lot of the artists you just mentioned are really lyrical, hip hop.
Yeah,
You know what I
definitely.
mean? Like hardcore hip hop, I guess, artists or lyricists, like very lyrical. And so is that sort of your pocket?
I think so. Like I think because I would listen to those guys, the Biggies, the Jadakisses, the Jay-Z's. But I think what like as I got a little bit older, as I started writing myself, I kind of like there was the Commons, the Talib Kweli's. That was kind of more, I guess, a little bit more my lane, I guess. And then then I heard this group called Gangster, and there's a guy named Guru, and then he had a couple albums, the beats and stuff. It wasn't too conscious, it wasn't overly trying to be too like tough. It was like a good mix, and that's what kind of really I like that kind of lane. So I followed after, like I started taking it more serious on that.
Yeah, but when did you start taking your music seriously, or like how did you?
So I would kind of like when I was like high school, a couple of my friends like we grew up like kind of a lot of freestyling and stuff like that. Just whenever we was around freestyle sessions, like in the school after school, just hanging out and just kind of just going back and forth. But I wasn't even probably close to one of being one of the better guys. So I think what kind of made me get better is just kind of working on it. So I think like as I worked on it, maybe the other guys, certain people were already good, were already there. So maybe I just kind of just kept working, kept getting better. So yeah, that's just kind of.
And that was high school.
High school, and then high school, and then going towards university a bit.
You went to university? What school did you go to?
I went to Dalhousie.
Wow, what'd you take?
Nova Scotia. I was taking sociology.
Wow.
I didn't finish.
You didn't. What's dope? You still got something, right?
Yeah.
So I have so many questions, but anyways, I want to take it back to. So you mentioned before that you're from Nova Scotia.
Yeah.
So how, like, cause I know I grew up in Jungle, Lawrence Heights community. There's a huge Scotian community, like people there, and so you know.
Yeah.
And so I kind of have a lot of background with Scotians and all of that, and I just wanted to know like more about your family and where they came from in Nova Scotia and the importance of that.
Oh, okay. So my dad, he was from one of the first black communities in Canada ever, called Africville.
Yep.
And so he was raised there till 10, and it's like there's a story that's pretty popular about how one of the earlier signs of gentrification, where it's like where he was, it was beautiful community, but at that time they looked at it as the local region looked at it like a slum. So what happened was I think they did some orders, stuff like that, and then it was supposed to be set to be knocked down or whatnot. So then that's when he moved, him and his mother moved to Toronto, and he grew up down like not Regent Park, what's the area around Regent, like Spadina, Regent Park area. Okay. I can't remember the name. It'll come to me, but yeah, around these downtown areas and stuff like that. And my mother, she wasn't from Africa, but she was from I guess more northern Nova Scotia, more rural. And same thing, she kind of moved around a lot. Her my grandfather, her father was like in the army. Okay. So, and I think once him and my grandmother might have split, I think she ended up moving to Toronto for a better situation and stuff. She grew up in I think Jamestown. She grew up in.
Here?
Yeah. So she moved here. She moved here in Nova Scotia until she was about like 12, 13, and then and then lived in Jamestown.
So is Africville still there?
It's there as a commemoration.
Okay. Yeah. So it's historic now.
It's historical. Like they have like some commemorative like there's a large plaque in the middle of the area where it is. There, I think it's a church. They rebuilt the church. They knocked down there, and it's just to kind of preserve the area.
Okay.
In the memory.
All right, that's dope. So let's get back to music.
Yes.
So, so when did you like actually put out your first? Oh no, I want to take it back a little bit because you said you and your boys would do freestyles and stuff like that.
We actually would record. Our first recording was a buddy of ours. He had like he had a little. His family had a bit more money than we did, but he figured out like the early like FL Studio kits and stuff like that and recorded. That was one of the we would record like out of like an old like shoebox. Like he took a mic on an old shoebox and he had his computer, and we would just take turns like kind of freestyle. Yeah, it's crazy. Like
wow.
shoebox.
What are you talking about? What
Yeah,
is that?
it was
You
wild.
gotta show me what that is.
Yeah, it was wild. That was when it was first, before rap, hip hop was even like, not before it was big, but before it got to new heights now. Yeah.
Wow.
So we would like just kind of, and it wasn't even like we were writing. It was just like he'd had to make his beats, and then it was just kind of, okay, your turn. This guy's your turn. And just kind of take turns freestyle.
That's insane.
Yeah. So then that was actually, we had like a little. I think we even had a little project together. I think we had like 11 songs.
What?
I don't know where it's
where
on the
that
CD.
Would be?
Yeah, where that would be. I'd have to look for it.
Yeah.
Then we had 2 things there, and then yeah, that was cool. At that time, it was just for fun. And then as he got older, like more people started getting into hip hop and rap and stuff, and then more studios around. So like people, we would always try to make like redo the same thing, but it was a little bit more. Different people were doing different things at that time, so it was always tough to kind of fulfill like a whole project with like as a group of people.
True. Yes.
So, yeah.
So then, when did you actually sort of, I guess, break away and be an independent artist? When would you say that you actually put out your first?
Oh, so wow, I think my first full project that I recorded, I didn't get it to the level of putting it out that I recorded for myself that I was trying to. It was like I was maybe like 21.
Okay.
22. It was, I would come like in the summers. I would work on music when I come home from school or whatever, and then in the summers. And then like when I came home from school, I was working, so I had my money, so I work and then go to the studio and just make my own stuff. Okay. I actually wasn't supposed to be an independent project. I was supposed to be a compilation of artists from my neighborhood and like Lakeshore area and the West End area and other artists from down there. But what happened was kind of like when artists would say they were going to do their music or they were going to finish it, and then people kept falling off, and I just kept going. And so and then when that project fell through, I just kind of got it like a real I don't know, I guess a real, I got addicted to it and I kept the knack for it, and so I just kept doing it. I just kept going, and then yeah. So that was like in my 20s.
Okay, wow, that's dope.
And then yeah.
So right now, what are you thinking about musically right now?
Musically, just trying to just stay consistent. I'm still like, I know music now is a little bit more. It's kind of like fast food. It's like a lot of come and go. But like the real good artists that stand out, they still treat it the same way it was treated 10 years ago, 10 years before that. Like see the Kendrick Lamar's, the Doechis, like Wiz Khalifa just put out a project not too long ago, and it's like it's all cohesive projects. So I think I still like making albums. It's challenging, and that's what intrigues me.
So are you working on something right now?
Yeah, right now currently trying to finish work on projects called Yours to Discover.
Dope.
Yeah, and it's just trying to bring like a different light to the like Canadian scene, and trying to bridge like traditional kind of golden era style with new with a current sound, current feel.
I love it. And so when did you drop your first project?
Like official, like through streaming platforms?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
single
yeah.
First single.
First single dropped like maybe 2 years ago.
Oh wow.
Yeah, 2 years ago. It's off my first project called Golden City.
Okay, dope.
And that's I just actually just some of my friends I was talking about, like one of the neighborhoods I spent a lot of time in, grew up in Summerhill. One of the like still go back to visit friends and stuff like that. It was like a lot of older guys, or guys my age, kind of moved on, whatever, and some seeing the younger guys sometimes. And my boy, he introduced me to one of this younger producer, and he had a couple beats. He's like, if you want to write to us, we started writing to a couple, one turned into two, turned into more. And so let me see if I can do a project. And then I see a lot of that traditional sound coming back. A lot of artists like coming, still making music stuff. So I'm like, let me see where I can take this. And then working with him, he's really good with the like the whole, like, he's very computer savvy. Okay. So he's like, you could load up to platforms and stuff, not too hard. So worked on it, finished it. So I think I would say about 2023 summer. Wow. I released it. So it was early 2023. That's my first project, about 13, 14 something.
That's so lit. So you're excited about this, yours to discover. What do you think you're going to sort of do differently on this project? Like, what have you learned from the last project that you're like, nah, this time I'm gonna.
That's a good question. This time, just kind of just follow my own path more. Like at that time, I had my plan, and then I would hear something from this person, hear something from this, and I kind of just got, you should do it like this, or you should do it like that. That's kind of just have a plan, finish it. I don't want to put too much songs on it because just a newer artist would probably be a lot for people to take in.
True.
So I just want to keep it a little bit, not too long. Make sure it's polished, and just still have a really like multitude of sounds on it, not, how do I say it? Like not just one, like have it like blend well, but not just have one one style of beats. Have different types. Have it something for that everyone can kind of be.
Nice.
Yeah.
Like variety.
Right.
Show your diversity a bit. So, Mila, I guess I have a last few questions. Like, all right. So you've been working on yours to discover, which I know that's like a take on the. It's a take on the.
Oh, actually, yeah. I was driving one day and I'm just like, I need, I'm just working on music. I was great. Just thinking something ahead, and I seen it on I think it was back of Ontario license plate.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I know they recently changed it. I think it's something to do with business. Really.
Yeah.
The old,
so dry.
Yeah, the old school one, the yours to discover. That was like, I was like, yo, that'd be a cool. That's a cool little name, and I was like, let me just do a project like that.
That's dope. I like how. Tell me a little bit more about how you've sort of. I guess like when I'm writing for you, because I do grant writing for you. I'm always trying to sort of tie in your cultural background with the Nova Scotian and your Black Indigenous heritage, as well as sort of your trope to Canadian Torontonian life. You know what I mean? And how you always like to play upon all of those types of things. So why is that sort of your knack?
I just I like to. I think music, all the artists I kind of relate to, like there's always a sense of authenticity that always comes to like the people I like to listen to. So I just, and it's unique. I don't really hear too much like I hear some Toronto stuff, but not a lot. Like it's really exact. So I like to just talk about what I've been through, what I've seen, what I can relate to. I know a lot of people can relate to it as well. So I like to do that, and if it inspires me, hopefully, most likely might inspire someone else.
That's so lit. So how has it been we're a part of this collective here. How's it been in the past 5 months, working with the collective, being a part of the Artistic Delve series, developing your craft with myself, Chills, and Sammy? How has it been?
Oh, dope! Yeah, really dope. It's like a breath fresh air. It's like an energy boost, like to be around other people that are just as like enthused or hungry as you are,
right.
Or even more at times. So and then taking different different opinions on what they think and how they do, and how to proceed with the music and ambition and stuff like that, and what's going on in the scene now. So it's been really good, and then it's been really informative.
That's dope. And then how about like just tell everyone how your experience has been with the grant writing and grant application process, sort of.
Oh, wow. The grant is a bit honest. I don't want to go over the top because it seemed like I'm just like capping, but it was almost like a miracle because like I've been trying to. When I was younger, I didn't really have a lot of money and all that stuff. So and you hear about the grants and stuff like that, but getting through that, it's like the Bermuda Triangle. It's almost like they know it's there, but they don't. It doesn't exist. I applied for the grant previously to this year, like 3 or 4 times, and I just never heard back from anything. It's like I remember the one time, like almost 15 years ago, I think I got a letter, and then I was like, okay, and they said you had to work on this, work on that. But the 2 other times, I didn't even hear anything back, no emails, anything. So it's like I just do all this work, write this stuff, write this application, and I just don't know what happened to it. Never hear. Then call in the different numbers that are on it, or emailing different people. One person says talk to this person. So I don't know. It's not trying. It doesn't. It just gets really discouraging. So when actually when I seen this series and seen you post for what you were doing, I was just actually I was almost like, I don't want to say ready to give up on the grant stuff, but I was just like, I'm just like, I think this is just wishful thinking. But and then when I seen yours, I was like, I wasn't even going to reach out, but I was like, let me just try see what this is about.
Wow.
So yeah, so I was really impressed, and like I reached out to other people as well, other grant writers stuff, and then yeah, I've read like people say they can do this or they say they can do that. I've spoken to people who claim to be grant writers, and I've known more than they have. And it's like, yeah, no, it's not gonna work. The other person, people claim to be grant writers, and they're just not. They don't know anything. They're just saying that they got to get you to go to the studio or something like that. So, but this was actually really professional. I was actually really pleasantly, like, really surprised.
Oh, and would you say that like your conception of the whole application process after when you finally did it was night and day?
Yeah, I was shocked. Like I still can't even believe it. Like I mean, I haven't received it yet,
yeah.
But just the fact that it went through, I was
Exactly.
like, oh, okay, this is actually possible. So, yeah, and then even like even talking to you about it, like how the way to even approach the grants, like you just don't put your album in or put a couple songs in and you get it. It's like a whole, like they want to see the whole comprehensive approach, like to see your whole plan, to see that you follow through, and they follow up, and it's just like it's like a whole journey to it. So they're not just giving you money to. So I remember you even said like, I remember I was sending you other stuff. You're like, I think you got the whole wrong idea of how to go about getting these grants, or what a grant's all about. So that was, I was educated on that, and then it's just like I had to change my whole approach and stuff like that. So it was good. It was really informative, like really powerful.
That's dope. Amazing. I'm glad. That's literally all I'm trying to do with these sessions and these programs is kind of help people to understand it's not just like this, oh, let me apply and da-da. It's not really. It's truly a journey, exactly like what you said. It's really a business plan for your artistry. That's all it is. It's a business plan for your artistry. And so yeah, I'm so excited to be working with you because of your discipline, your seriousness, and your craft. And you've improved so much since we first met. Like we met, I guess, in October, November, and you've grown so much in that time. So I'm so excited to see like what the next 6 months, next 12 months have in store for you. Super excited.
Yeah, man. Learned a lot, and even being around you guys kind of like re-energized. Because I was this kind of music that it gets kind of discouraging and overwhelming, and it's because it's a lot of I don't think people really know like to actually really do it like professionally or even semi-professionally, and how much work and like discipline, and like you said, discipline and just consistency goes into it. So
Dope. Well, thank you so much for coming out and finally getting the chance to speak with me and the crew. We love working with you. Thank you so much for bringing your friend and bring more people.
For sure.
We're gonna talk with your friend and see what he's got cooking.
Okay.
in his craft, right? But yeah, thank you so much for coming out, and we'll talk with you again, maybe like in a few months, and see how the project's going.
Okay. All right. Great.
All right. Dope.
Sounds good.
Thank you, RJ.